and welcome to this video, which we're going to do on the approaching Mars-Saturn conjunction, which will take place on the 24th of August, 2016. I wanted to mention that this is really kind of kicking off eclipse season in a very intense fashion, because we've got a solar eclipse coming up the following week on the 1st, and then a lunar eclipse taking place on the 15th of September. So it begins to set a whole chain of energy into motion, which is rather intense. And if you'd like a little bit of help sorting your way through this particular scenario of events, or would just like to know what the eclipse season is about for you in particular, or you just want a general consultation, I should mention that I do offer several different levels of astrological service, which are available through my astrological services page link, which will either be this side or that side, whichever side I decide to put it on. So Mars and Saturn. First of all, let's talk about these two planets in general, right? Probably don't need to tell all of you who are watching this how Mars is like the, kind of the action-oriented planet of the zodiac. It's very strong-willed. Can also be very logical, though, and that's actually something that can work to your favor in terms of Mars with this particular aspect. And then let's talk about Saturn. Slow, take things very one step at a time, practical manner, oriented Saturn. These two planets do not really work that well with each other when they're in conjunction with each other. As a matter of fact, it's really surprising that Mars is exalted in Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, because Saturn is very slow and steady energy, and Mars is going to want to be moving really quickly. So it's kind of like having your foot on the gas pedal and the brake pedal at the same time, and it creates for a lot of intensity. Right? And there's really a lot of mental confusion with this particular alignment in general, because in the background, we've got a connection going on between the Sun and Rahu. And when Rahu-Sun conjunctions happen, it can be difficult to, well, for lack of a better way to put it, to know yourself. Right? To know where your heart is with something. And that's really a lot of what this energy of this particular Mars-Saturn conjunction is about, is kind of trying to figure out what the best thing to do with a particular set of circumstances is, right? This could be about you and another person working in harmony with each other. What should be the next steps forward? And there's really a lot of confusion. You may feel like you don't really know what is expected of you, what your role is, just some of the general scenarios that can be happening with this particular set of energy. And this interaction between Rahu and Sun is basically the Sun energy, which is going to be influenced by Rahu, is forming an aspect with Mars and Saturn. And so it's kind of creating, for lack of a better way to put it, this somewhat panicked energy that on one level wants to go this way and on another level wants to go a completely different way. And with this particular energy, it's a difficult set of circumstances to rise above, especially on the day that the exactitude of the conjunction is taking place, because of the panchanga, or some of the things associated with the moon. For those of you who don't know what the panchanga is, it's like the lunar day, what day it is of the moon, something called the karana, which I'm not going to go into a deep explanation of. Well, we'll touch on it briefly. It's how the day may be, for lack of a better way to put it, approached, and the solar lunar yoga, which is kind of describing how everything is kind of being held together. Well, with this particular energy on the day of the exact conjunction, it's very difficult to rise above the set of circumstances that one is being influenced by. And with this particular conjunction between Mars and Saturn, there may be some difficult truths that you are called upon to take a look at in order to make the next step forward in terms of your particular circumstances. If you are willing to go through the process and take a look at what is being represented to you, if you can overcome the capacity to take things personally, but instead to take things clearly, for lack of a better way to put it, to accept some constructive criticism from the universe that may manifest itself in terms of feeling like some non-constructive criticism from somebody else in your life, right? And it may not manifest through anybody else at all. It may just manifest through your own perspective on yourself. That's another way of looking at it. But there's a lot of insight that's offered through this particular alignment, if you're willing to face the truth, because we do have a strong Mercury that is the nakshatra lord of both Mars and Saturn while this is taking place. So my advice for this particular alignment, yes, it's going to feel confusing. You're going to feel simultaneously like you need to act and like you need to hold back, and you're not going to be sure which of those things you need to be doing. And you may feel a little bit reluctant to do anything at all. And you may go, I kind of just want to sit still until I figure out what the best thing to do is. And if you're willing to use that moment constructively and really take a look and observe and pay attention, the proper perspective that you need with which to approach the coming eclipse season, with the solar eclipse on the 1st of September and the lunar eclipse on the 15th, that will be provided to you. So some hints in the right direction. If you don't know what to do, right, don't feel like you necessarily have to do anything. But if you don't feel like doing anything, do something, and that something involves just taking a look, opening your awareness, paying attention, letting it all kind of sink in. Be willing to take a look at the things that perhaps you don't want to take a look at, because maybe in one of those things is a gem of wisdom. That's going to do it for a look at the Mars-Saturn conjunction for the 24th of August, 2016. Please do remember, if you want to schedule something for the eclipse season, or maybe even beyond the eclipse season, please go to my astrological services page. That's going to do it for a look at the Mars-Saturn conjunction. Until next time, please take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.